Thank you for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. In this episode, I will be looking at the country of Mauritius. Why Mauritius ranked number 26 around the world as a country overall score in terms of performance in economy, doing business in the country. I will examine a couple of things. First, I will look at Mauritius from the rule of law. In this area, I will be covering the property rights and also the judicial effectiveness, government integrity, and I will also explore the government size, the tax burdens, and also government spending, physical health. More importantly, I will dive into the open markets, looking at trade freedom, investment freedom as well, and financial freedom. Also, I will close this episode looking at the regulatory efficiency, the business freedom in Mauritius, and the labor freedom as well, and the monetary aspect. So I would encourage you to watch this video to the end for clarity and better understanding. We will play together with some numbers to look at the reason why Mauritius is not just a leading country in the region, but more competitive than what you think. So we should be looking at this from a different perspective. Mauritius Economic Freedom Score, considering that it is measured looking at the global performance of over 100. Mauritius scores over 70.6, making its economy the 26th freest as of 2023. Considering this particular aspect, it scores over 0.3 point lower than last year. Mauritius is ranked first out of 47 countries in sub-Saharan African region, and its overall score is well above the world average, with a continuous commitment to structural reforms and policy that promotes integration into the global marketplace. Mauritius has become a leader in economic freedom. A sound and transparent legal framework strongly upholds the rule of law, and the country's efficiency in terms of regulatory environment and open market policy encourage a broader based and diversified economic development. If you look at this particular country, understanding the background of Mauritius gained independence from the United Kingdom as of 1968. The Prime Minister at the moment, Sir Arnaud Juggernaut, resigned in 2017 in favor of his son, the Pravind, whose party won a rare parliamentary majority in 2019, so to point out. Once a low-income agricultural-based economy, Mauritius is now a diversified upper-middle-income country that attracts considerable foreign direct investment and has one of Africa's region's highest GDP per capita. The government is trying to modernize the sugar and textile industry while promoting diversification into such other areas as information technology and financial and business services. Services and tourism remains important economic drivers, and maritime security is a priority for this African nation. Let's look at also the rule of law in Mauritius. The overall rule of law is well respected in Mauritius. So to point out, the country's property rights score is above the world average. We will look at that in some specific, like I've just pointed out. I will illustrate on how Mauritius has performed in terms of its trajectory, looking at its also competitors. Its judicial effectiveness score is above the world average as well. Its government integrity score is above the world average, showing great performance looking at different aspects. The government size is a very important thing just so to know. The top individuals and corporate tax rates are about 15%. The tax burden equals just over 21.1% of gross domestic products. 3-year government spending and budget balance averages are respectively just over 31.5% and 8.5% of GDP. Public debt equals 93.6% of gross domestic products. Mauritius also has huge regulatory efficiency. The regulatory framework has undergone a series of reforms and continues to be competitive. No minimum capital is required to start a business, and the overall start-up process has been simplified. Labor regulations are relatively flexible. Monetary stability has been relatively well maintained. If you look at different aspects with regards to Mauritius, the country has attracted huge investment from abroad. Considering these operatives with regards to the region in the continent of Africa, the open market considering Mauritius itself, the trade weight average tariff rate is about 1.1%, and several non-tariff measures are in force. An efficient and transparent investment framework supports foreign investment inflow into the country of Mauritius. The open investment regime is underpinned by non-discriminatory legal systems. Private banks dominate the financial sector in Mauritius. This African country has exemplified itself as a very important destination for Africa and also within the region. If you look at different facts about this emerging African economy, strong performance in different criteria as we've pointed out. Mauritius, with a population of just over 1.3 million people, it's an amazing GDP considering different areas. The unemployment rate is just over 8.6% and the inflation is just over 4.0% as CPD, so to point out, and the public debt stands at 93.6. Mauritius is an amazing destination for foreign direct investment. The question here is, are you ready to invest in Mauritius? Of course, if you look at a country that ranked 26th in the world in terms of its performance in the number of areas, it's a country which should be able to return investment capital into the region. We have made lots of videos on this particular channel. If you are new here, we encourage you to check the entire channel for you to see more exciting and educating content regards the global African perspective. Without any more delay, let's just dive straight into it. Yes, I just mentioned a moment ago, considering if we look at the overall score regards to Mauritius as a country, considering its performance, and if I also try to look at if I have to play with the table here, in terms of government integrity, you will see that Mauritius has shown there's been ups and downs in somehow, no doubt, but Mauritius has shown consistency in terms of government performance and in different ways. For those countries that are business people looking to invest in Mauritius, this is very important to know that the business freedom in Mauritius is just so vital. Look at from 1995, Mauritius was right up there at 85%. So we are talking about the business freedom year with regards to Mauritius. Now, the business freedom is a very important thing for those of you looking to invest in Mauritius. This graph actually shows the performance of Mauritius from 1995 up to 2009, extending it up to 2018 until 2022. You will see that the numbers actually show that Mauritius is actually performing extensively well, so to point out. So this country has exemplified itself. It stands out from the crowd, comparing this particular average with the world. So it's important to note that business freedoms in Mauritius and starting a business, it shows a clear indication compared to other countries around the world. Even now, today, as we are speaking, if you look at the different figures, Mauritius has increased. At the moment, the global average in terms of business freedom is around 59.9%, and at the moment, Mauritius is at 76.0%. That's a tremendous performance for a small country in the continent of Africa. If you look at here, if I take you down to this particular graph, I wanted to confirm. Just look at this area where you see the world, and then you find Mauritius here. Now, Mauritius has shown some tremendous growth in terms of its overall score as a country, considering its performance. If we look at the year from 1995, you see that the red arrow indicates the global average, and the green arrow here, the green line, so to point out, shows that of Mauritius. So the world average performance overall score in several areas has actually stayed stagnant, or it's just been showing a straight line, showing regular performance. But Mauritius here has, when you look at since 1999, 2000, 2001 and 2002, Mauritius, the world is performing overall score in terms of 59, but Mauritius is still standing on 67. That shows a huge increase in terms of overall different things that are in the combination of this, looking at the rule of law, doing business in the country, starting business, investment capital, operative aspect, the conducive environment. If you look at 2010 and 2011, 2012, Mauritius was way up there in terms of its performance, over 76%. And if we draw down to 2018, when there was a lot of challenges in the global economy in other ways, going down to 2020 with the global pandemic at the time, you will see that there was a little bit of a dip in terms of Mauritius' performance there, where you can see it here. But again, in 2021, 2022, Mauritius began climbing up again. And of course, a little bit of a dip looking at the end of 2022. Of course, we all know with regards to the high inflation that's bothering the whole world, most African countries, in Europe as well, and the United States. So Mauritius has actually shown a tremendous performance in overall score, and there is no doubt why this country has attracted a huge foreign investment. Now, hopefully this information provides you a clear understanding and clarity as to the reason why Mauritius is ranked at a particular position around the world for doing business. We're talking about 26th year in terms of business freedom and economic operatives in terms of an economy which is located in the region of Africa. Hopefully this gives you a clarity and a better understanding, as our data shows that Mauritius is not just a normal business destination, but it's performing really well in a whole full lot of other areas. Let's just take a look also considering another very important labor freedom. Labor freedom is so important here. So if we look at labor freedom for Mauritius, I would consider that this country has actually performed extensively well. Mauritius, beating that particular aspect, is above the chart as compared to the general African region. The global average at the moment is around, looking at 2022, if you look at 2022 data, around 55.7. But Mauritius shows a great performance here in terms of labor freedom, over 74.6. Of course, there are other things happening in the country in different ways, but if we look at the global performance and the regional performance in Africa, Mauritius' labor freedom is way too high. There's a lot of information here that I could share with you guys, but the bottom line here is the question is Mauritius an investment destination? The answer is simply yes. For those of you in the region that intend to invest your money in Mauritius or in Africa, other African countries, for those investors looking to enter the market of the continent, Mauritius is a clear indication in terms of business freedom and will attract and also provide you an opportunity to scale within the African region. I want to thank you for watching. Have you done business in Mauritius, or have you visited this particular African country? Let us know in the comment section if you think that this is an investment destination. Are you from Mauritius? Tell us why investors should come to your country to do business. I want to thank you for watching. We're looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. If you are new here, we encourage you to check some of our informative video on this YouTube channel. Let's check on again with you on our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.